Now, this is a story that is nothing short of amazing. In 2022, while on vacation, Jameson Reeder Jr., or JJ, faced a terrifying shark attack that changed his life forever. But instead of letting that define him, he's shown incredible resilience and positivity through his recovery. JJ's mom and dad have written a book, Rescue at the Reef, sharing in detail the experience and the miracles that unfolded during this journey. JJ and his dad, Jameson Reeder Sr., join me now to dive into their incredible story. Guys, thank you for being here today.
Excited to be with you, Justin.
Can I just start out by saying I love that shirt?
Thank you.
Show everyone at home what that shirt says.
Before you ask, it was a shark.
It was a shark. Well, thank you so much for being here to share this incredible story. Jameson Sr., can I start with you and kind of take us through what happened the day that your story starts?
Yeah, man, it was an absolutely beautiful day, August 13th, 2022, and we just received good news on the weather report and the calm seas, and the wind was lying down, making it a perfect day to go 9 miles offshore to one of the most dove reefs in the state of Florida, Lou Key Reef. There were people everywhere. It was the last weekend before school started, and we were very thankful to find a mooring ball. Since it's a marine sanctuary, you can't fish, you can't drop anchor, can't do any of that stuff. So you had to find a mooring ball, essentially a parking spot for boats, to grab the line tied to the bow of the boat and have it hold you in place so that we could begin a beautiful day of snorkeling. And that's what we did. We jumped in and began to see hundreds of species of fish and marine life, even a few turtles. And I dove down and found a beautiful queen conch and brought it up to my 3-year-old. And as I surfaced, that's when I heard the screaming from JJ and then also my wife, who was on the boat. And we had no idea he had just been attacked by a 9-foot apex predator, a bull shark. And so he's screaming, and we just, get to him as quickly as we can. And as we get him on the boat, that's when we see from below the knee all the way down to his foot, nothing but just his tibia bone. The fibula, the outer bone was even gone, all the flesh gone, just stripped clean. This shark had just taken his leg essentially, and I screamed no in absolute horror of the reality.
I'm getting chills just hearing that in detail. JJ, what do you remember about that moment?
I just remember after the shark attack, I just remember it being on me and then me screaming for help, and then I basically faint, and then I wake up in my dad's arms and I say, "It's okay, Daddy, Jesus is gonna save me." And that's really all I remember.
And he did. And he did indeed. Yeah. Jameson, JJ asked you to take him back to the reef and to the scene of the attack just a couple of days later. What was your reaction when your son wanted to face his fear and get back into the water so quickly?
I was crossing those bridges back to the mainland of Florida, asking myself, will we ever find the joy that we once always had crossing these bridges, coming to the Keys, excited to be here because it was just a beautiful place for us to always be as a family. And I thought, man, if ever my son is ready to do this, I need to be ready as his father. And so although we were dealing with so many medical decisions, of course, his leg would be ultimately amputated, and then, not just his life saved, but how do we figure out how to walk again, 4 surgeries later. I was blown away that was what was on his mind 4 days after the shark attack. He's 10 years old. He's in the hospital. His life's been forever changed. And what's on his mind is, how can I face my fear and return to the reef? And that was why he said, "Dad, will you put a plan together for us to return to the reef?" And so I was so proud of him. And
as you should be. I'm feeling inspired, just hearing that. I want to touch back on something. You said that you were wondering if, how you could, get through this, and if you would ever have, good times again. A lot of people might be mad at God for having gone through this experience, asking, why me? God, why did I have to go through this? But you guys, continue to talk about your faith, especially in this book. How do you continue to keep your faith?
It's a great question. I think when we see uh, the subtitle of the book is The Miraculous True Story of a Little Boy with Big Faith. And this young man isn't quite a little boy anymore, from 10 to 13. In fact, he'll be 14 the end of this next month. He's grown a lot, but not just in stature, but in his faith. And so we get all of our joy in this unique and difficult journey from his joy.
Lastly, as we wrap up, for both of you, what is the message that you want to spread to the world by writing this book and sharing your story?
Why don't you tell him, bud? Yeah, I know you have a great answer for this.
I just hope that people will find out of this book, hope and healing, and the encouragement to face their fears.
Well, look, if you can survive this and have such a great attitude, then I think everybody watching this and who hopefully will go out and read your book, I hope that they get inspired by your story. Again, the book is Rescue at the Reef, The Miraculous True Story of a Little Boy with Big Faith by Jameson and Mary Catherine Reeder. And it's available wherever books are sold.